What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Okay, I haven't looked at the cards yet. I've got challenge cards and advice, but we're going to start underneath the deck as always, because I see this as the subconscious energy or underlying energy that's influencing the reading or the situation. So we're getting the Dakini card in the reverse. Oh boy. And the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Now this is interesting because this card says enlightened feminine. The enlightened feminine, my gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. But the Queen of Swords is literally like an unenlightened feminine energy. So it's kind of matching the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords in the reverse is an extremely difficult person to deal with. I always read court cards pretty much as a gender that they come. So to me, this is a woman or a feminine energy who uses logic and like their analytical mind and yeah, that side of themselves as like a weapon when it's reversed. Because upright, great. This is like a person who's super clear at communicating, has really strong boundaries, knows what they want. You know, they can come across maybe a little bit like overly assertive or like a little harsh, but at the same time, like sometimes you need that clarity and that precision. In the reverse, like I said, it's using it against you to get what they want as a form of control or manipulation. Let's just see what's going on under here. Oh boy. All right, so yeah, there's a lot. This person is doing, okay, do you see how, I'm just gonna show you. There's all major arcana cards under here, okay? We're getting the Hanged Man in the reverse, the Star in the reverse, the Temperance in the reverse. The only card that's upright and then Tower reverse is this Six of Wands. This person, whoever this Queen of Swords energy is, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, could be those star sign. This person is doing like serious damage control for their reputation. Like they are working overtime, honey. This person is working overtime to ensure that some situation doesn't like break down or come into the light. Like, but man, sorry, I'm picking up so much energy here. Like this is not like this person, this card is about getting a spiritual realization. Do you see how there's a halo around their head? They're flipped upside down. He's hanging upside down because he's meant to, in this position, this surrendered position, this stillness, even this discomfort of hanging upside down, meant to receive enlightenment from a different perspective, right? I'm getting from this energy, like this person, not only are they using something against you, like I said, their intellect, their knowledge, their power, whatever it is, but they know exactly what they're doing. And intuitively, they know that it's like wrong, and yet they don't care. Because what they care most about is the way that other people see them. This is sad, actually. There are a lot of people that like this, though. They're so obsessed with their public image. Like, again, sometimes these people have like actual issues like personality disorders and stuff because their ego is so fragile that they, like I said, work overtime to create a whole narrative about their life that could be completely fake, like completely contrived, literally like they're acting, they're putting on a show, but they feel safer and more confident if other people believe their bullshit, their facade, their whole masquerade. Oh, yeah, I'm just like, I feel for you, whoever's going through this. But then again, if you're in this, you created it, so you've got to like undo it. This person is extremely emotionally imbalanced. They are not, like, this is karma. This is like karma to balance out because like this person is not your destined path if you're with them or if you work with them or if, like whatever. I feel it's probably a close relationship, but like you're meant to be, I feel, on a different path. But you've got to learn this lesson, and this person is in your life, and it's a very difficult lesson to learn because something is meant to break down here, but this person doesn't want this to happen. They are really working hard to make sure that something doesn't fall apart. And I don't know, because it's going to make them look bad. And that's what, do you see though, how every single big life lesson is in the reverse, and the only fucking thing that's popping out is this Six of Wands that's upright, which is like more mundane. It's like day-to-day stuff. It's like they're just super obsessed, I'm hearing, with their image. This is a person that's very insecure I feel this is a woman, this person who's very insecure, and that's why they're so obsessed with how people see them and painting themselves out in a certain light, because they don't love themselves and they don't feel confident and they don't accept their own shadow, but they're like so in their own shadow right now, but they're not. It's like they know what they're doing is shitty and they don't care, because again, the ego part is way stronger than their like heart and empathy. I don't feel that part of them is as developed. It's like overshadowed by their ego. Oh my goodness. Stomach ache. Okay, so I don't feel like you're supposed to be putting in any more work in this other than the work of facing the final confrontation or frontier, whatever it is with this person that you need to do. If it's like an exposure, if it's having the final conversation or whatever, because there's something new. Like you doing this is actually like an act of self-love. And I feel that this person, the way they treat you or whoever's watching or whoever this is about, the way they treat people or someone specifically, the shitty way they treat you is like your lesson of to love yourself more, to truly respect yourself enough to let this come undone. But I mean, it will affect you too. Let's just see. I'm so curious. What is the challenge here? The Queen of Wands in the reverse and the creative energy reverse, the goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. And it's coming with a different feminine energy who's also in the reverse, who's also in a distortion around creativity and self-knowledge, and again, embodying their essence effortlessly. I'm going to clarify these. Let's see. Let's just get one more on each of these to see the difference. So we'll get one to clarify Queen of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of like disappointment surrounding this energy, a lot of like emotional disappointment. How about Queen of Wands reversed? Do you feel the difference already? First of all, we're getting another Wands card, a very fast moving energy. The energy is moving on. I always look how things, you can't see because you're not looking at my perspective, but I always see how things are showing up on the table, like what's oriented in what direction. Do you see how the Five of Cups is facing the Queen of Swords with disappointment? But then the Wands are rushing towards this Queen of Wands. So this could be like wanting to get out of like that situation and move towards like a different person, perhaps this Queen of Wands, but this Queen of Wands right now is not super open. Probably because, some people don't want to be involved in third-party situations, or they don't want to be involved in someone else's emotional and relationship drama or problems. So a mature person's probably going to step aside and be like, that's none of my business. I know that there's a lot of people out there that will get involved in people's drama, and they feed off of that energy of being involved in someone else's relationship shit, or like choose me, pick me, and they're so like desperate to be chosen that they're all up in somebody else's business. I'm not like that. I'm like, I learned the hard way that you don't want to be involved in other people's stuff. Let people work out what they need to work out, But let's just get one more on this Queen of Wands. There was probably a missed opportunity, actually, and now there's like a desire to turn it around, because do you see how in the card this guy is like not receiving that Ace of Cups, that cup coming from the universe, being like, here's some fulfillment, here's like a cup of love, here's something emotionally that's going to like bring you joy, and he's got his arms crossed, he's like, no, I don't want it. And who knows why, maybe it was not the right time or people weren't ready, but I don't feel that's the case anymore. I feel now it's like, again, fuck, like, oh shit, I don't want to miss my opportunity. Now I have to like, how the hell am I gonna fix this? Let's see, one more. Yeah. There was a desire, I feel, for probably a different situation, but whatever is going on around this Queen of Swords in the reverse needs to be dealt with. It just needs to be dealt with. There's no way around it. You cannot avoid a person like this either. Like, as much of a nightmare as they are to deal with, and like I said, somebody's feeling a ton of discontent and disappointment and grief that maybe they missed out on a better opportunity because they were so, invested or involved in whatever this situation is. That might have looked good in the beginning. Because again, people like this paint themselves out to be amazing. They'll love bomb you. They will shower you with affection and compliments and flattery, and they'll reel you in. But at the end of the day, a person like this is about them. They're not about you. So as soon as it doesn't serve them to love bomb you, maybe they do that and then they treat you like shit, and it's like intermittent reinforcement, and it turns into this like toxic relationship cycle, because sometimes they love you, so you think, then the other times they're treating you like shit. Then right when they think you're going to leave them, they come back with compliments, and all of a sudden they love you again, and then all of a sudden they're all about you, and then as soon as you start to come into your power and you're like, wait a minute, this is fucked up, then they're like, and the cycle, do you know what I mean? It's like this love bombing, discard, like breaking down, discard, intermittent reinforcement, blah, blah. It's the cycle of abuse, honestly. Like, that's really how it is, especially emotionally. And it is addictive, it is exhausting, and it is, over time, really psychologically, it wears you down. You don't trust yourself anymore. And I have a feeling that that's why this Dakini card is even coming in the reverse in terms of needing to trust your gut instincts. Because when you've been with a person who is this manipulative and gaslighty and like difficult and confusing, because sometimes you might actually believe them and be like, oh, I think this person really is a good person, they're kind, they care about me. And I'm not saying that they don't, you know, everybody has their good qualities and their shadow qualities. But a Queen of Swords in the reverse is manipulative on purpose, and they're smart, so they know how to do it in a way that makes them look good and not as shitty as they truly are being. And like I said, if you're a person who's a little vulnerable or a little bit sensitive, and because I've had professional relationships like this, not so much romantic, but professional, where like people just, it's like an abuse cycle. Like, first you think it's good, then it's really bad, then they break you down, and then right when they've got you where they want you, vulnerable, feeling weak, feeling scared, then they start to build you back up a little bit more. Maybe they give you a gift, or all of a sudden they're showering, or they're on their best behavior suddenly, and then they turn around and all of a sudden they treat you like shit again, and then they're, you know, being condescending, like it's and then they give you something nice again, and then they reel you back in, and then they push you away, and you don't know who you are anymore. You're like, what's up, what's down, what's true, what's not true? Do I deserve this? Am I a bad person? Should I put up with this? But maybe they really do love me. Do you see how like it really truly fucks you up? So I feel like there was a missed opportunity probably with somebody else here, and now, you know, there's a desire to reconcile. What's the advice? The advice is the only way out is through, upright. The mistress of the labyrinth. This has felt very challenging. I'm talking about this situation. This is exhausting because it's like all major arcana cards. This is a gigantic karmic life lesson, a relationship lesson, an emotional lesson, a spiritual lesson. Your advice is to take a moment, a pause, like away from everyone's energy. Like, try and get away from this person, even if you have to go lock yourself in the bathroom for an hour. But like, I'm going to take a bath, or I got to go like take a long hot shower, lock the door, put on your little meditation music or whatever. Go for a ride in the car, go for a walk outside. Do something where like truly you can tune inward. Take some rest. I'm feeling like burnout is not helping here. Because you need a pause. You need to like be receptive enough to hear the answers that you need in order to move forward. Because the only way out of this is through it. Your soul knows the way. Not your logic necessarily. Your soul knows the way. The only way out is through. I'm going to clarify these. There isn't any way to skirt around this lesson. You're going to have to deal with this person. I'm sure they're a nightmare. I'm sure they're probably scaring you and telling you that they're going to ruin your life, or they'll destroy you, or they don't say it directly, but they're insinuating it, or they have a lot of control in your life, so you're terrified that they're going to pull the rug out from under you. And unfortunately, leaving a person like this is, you know, it always comes with a bit of, you know, risk or a lot, but I don't know, man. I just feel like there is a way out, but you have to be willing to go head to head. You are way more powerful than you're giving yourself credit for. This comes up again and again lately, but here I'm feeling like you have to tap into, like, this person might be smart and they might be crafty and they might be very clever, and it's giving me like fox energy, which is cunning. like I said before, smart, but using it to their advantage against somebody else, to your disadvantage. So you have to be more smart spiritually here. You have to be like, I understand karma. I understand how to manifest things. I understand that if I'm doing something and it's in integrity and I'm in my power, like I'm quote unquote winning here because ultimately I'm working with the laws of nature and the universe, not with my big fat ego and my arrogance. This is getting arrogant, but like to their own detriment eventually. You'll see. You'll see. 7, karma has everybody's address. Trust. 7 of Wands in the reverse. It's like you have to stop defending yourself against this person or trying to fight with them. You actually have to be smarter than that. You have to fight like a sensei. And what I mean by that is you have to be like a calm warrior. Like, be the monk almost. It scares people like this when you're quiet and calm. They don't know how to handle that energy. They know how to fight with you, but if you just completely change up your strategy, it's much scarier. Because then they're like, I'm losing control. They can't read you as well. If they feel like their scare tactics aren't working anymore, it freaks them out. You start to like get under their skin. I don't know, it's kind of like psychological warfare. I'm not saying that it's a good use of your time. I'm saying you won't have to take, ooh, look what just flew out, Ace of Wands. I don't think it will take that long. I think you just have to stop trying to be right. And you have to just start focusing on getting out. Like ending it. Not worrying about who's right and who's wrong. This person will always say they're right, and they will always believe they're right. And it doesn't matter how wrong, quote unquote, they might be, or how out of line, or how crazy they sound, or how crazy they actually are. They will get on the fucking hill and die on their soapbox of they are superior. They are always right. This type of person in the reverse, this Queen of Swords in the reverse, this distortion, this person never is to blame, ever. And if they even try to pretend like, yeah, I did do that thing, they'll always find a way to twist it to make it about you. They never take full accountability. So it's exhausting. You can't really win with a person like that. You have to just you have to change your strategy, I'm feeling. And yeah, think outside the box. You have to do something like unconventional because you've been waiting a really long time and it hasn't ended because there needs to be like, oh, there it is. I think you're way too worried about your, maybe like money. This person's probably like controlling the finances or very controlling with money. I feel like the change in destiny, this is coming up, right? The Wheel of Fortune, because if you do this the correct way, meaning change your strategy, stop fighting fire with fire. Even stop fighting manipulation with manipulation and start thinking with like correct spiritual view. Laws of karma, like produces like. Karma expands. With every cause has a result. No cause, no result. What is it that you could take the next steps? Again, like a person like this who's like using dishonesty and manipulation and all that shit to try and use it to their advantage. Like, how can you do the opposite of that? What if you were like so radically honest? Or like, I'm not saying you have to like share everything, but what if you were to just be like, I'm not afraid that you're going to expose my shit? Because you know what? At the end of the day, like we both have it. So it's kind of like, show me mine, I'll show you. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. Like, but if you're not afraid, it's the fear that they're feeding on. A person like this feeds on your fear and vulnerability. I'm sure I've shared this story before, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, but like I had a boss who was doing all of this with me, and I, for a while, was getting so frustrated and trying to defend myself. And finally, I was just like, I'm not defending myself anymore. I'm literally just going to walk away. Or whatever. I'm going to like bring this to a head in a very like quiet way that they don't expect. And then when it's time, I'm just going to like drop the mic and walk away. And that's what I did. And it worked out in my favor. But you have to like let destiny turn the wheel here. It's like, I just very much feel that's what's going to bring this to an end. But it's not going to happen the way you're thinking. Because you, like I said, you almost have to freak a person like this out by not like caring anymore about them, what they're going to say about you. This person could be like threatening to expose things about you. They might be blackmailing. They could be doing so many crazy things. and not even saying it directly, maybe it's just an unspoken thing that they know stuff about you or whatever, or vice versa, or both. And it's like it's just like they're hanging it over your head and they know that it's scaring you. Like, what if it didn't scare you anymore? I don't know how serious things are, but I'm just saying, let's get a masculine energy card for one final message here. Actually, I just want to get one more advice card. The only way out is through. Yeah, look, I am the author of my own story. Every word I say becomes a prayer. The saint of spoken words. I feel like this person is also got like a story about you that they would maybe want to tell people that they know would really like damage your reputation. But what if you just don't care anymore? I don't know. I know that that's like so terrifying at the first, like when it first happens, but people can only get under your skin like this and use that against you if you feel shame. What if you just don't feel ashamed anymore? What if you're like, tell everyone, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Maybe you are really afraid. Again, these people feed on fear. You have to take their power away. You write your story. You know what's so empowering? Taking all the shit that you've been ashamed of and turning it into like your superpower and being like, I'm not ashamed of that. Like, let's say you've cheated, you've lied, you've stolen, you've done, I don't know, right? Because I think we've all done these things at some point in some capacity. And what if you pull all the skeletons out of your closet first? It's almost like you're like, I'll just pull it out first or whatever. Like, what the fuck are you going to use against me if I don't care anymore? Whatever. Drop it like it's hot, bitch. If you have that kind of attitude, like that's how I had to go. You don't have to say anything. You have to feel it. It's an empowerment that happens inside you where you start to dissolve people. Like these people start to crumble. They start to crumble because they've lost control of you. And that's what I feel the lesson is here, that you were never under anyone's control. That was in your mind. You let it happen, but that's not who you are. Lugh, L-U-G-H. I don't know what these cards mean, so let's just read this. Let me just check the time here. Okay. This is like our final advice card. Let's see what it says. Boy, this lesson is close to coming to an end. I really feel it. But I feel like you have to like let go of the shame because this person is using it against you and they know that it's working. Look at this. Wow. Allow waves of grief to wash over you. Pain from loss and betrayal needs time, space, and support for healing. Rather than denying your pain, face it with tenderness. Yeah. See, it's talking about being overcome with like grief and rage and setting out to like enact revenge. But like that's not the way to handle this. It says the moment grief hits you, it's like an impact of no other. It brings you to your knees, knocking the wind out of your lungs. Understanding the 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance helps you enter into flow instead of fighting the inevitable. When anger eventually presents itself, find healthy outlets to release it. Whether it's slow burning or quick to rise, release it with conscious intention. Yeah, because there's definitely some anger here that needs to be dealt with. But anyway, moving to the end here. Mourning the end of something, right? Or the loss of a relationship or desired future that you envisioned can take you on an overwhelming journey of pain, release, and rebuilding. It will take time, grit, determination, support, and patience. Especially like when you're in the midst of grief, you've got to trust the process, knowing that you'll enter a phase of acceptance in due time. You'll venture back into the world, seeing the vibrancy return around you. I just feel like this is a sign to deal with your grief instead of letting it consume you, because I do feel like one situation is like coming to an end, it feels like. Again, it is coming to an end. Look at this. But it's like you may come out of it feeling like not confident and not as stable as you wanted, or you didn't get what you wanted, or you feel financially insecure now, or something about your material world is going to not be where you want it to be, but yet you need to exit the cycle. It's really unhealthy. And it's in your favor to exit it because these are both upright. But like I said, you've got to let it come to an end instead of just waiting around. I don't know what you're waiting for or what whoever this is for is waiting for anymore, but it feels like what you want is possible, but you can't let this grief consume you and have all of this power over you. It's like you have to process it so that you can move forward in a place of self-acceptance. Look at this, the lady of our interior life. This is about meditation. I trust the answers I feel within me. I know that the presence of love is real, because that's where your real acceptance is going to come from. And then we're getting the goddess of magic, Isis. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. Like, you're meant to come back to life after this, and you've got to also use that life force energy. Like I've said so many times, your sexual energy is power. You've got to tap back in there and let the grief move through you so that you can get back into your power, so that you can handle whatever the situation is. Your dreams are not all lost, okay? Everything has not ended and fallen apart. It's that you've got to get unstuck and move forward so that you're available for your new experience, whatever. It's what you want is like happiness, you know, with a partner, maybe with a woman who's very vibrant and radiant and sexually empowered herself and confident. But to have a person like this or a situation like this, you've got to get out of a situation with a person like this. And this person, like I said, only has control over you so long as you let them have control over you. Take your power back. Again, don't let, you got to deal with the shame. That's the piece I'm feeling here that's very heavy. Once you integrate your shame and you don't feel shame anymore, maybe you feel bad about things that you've done, but you don't have to let it consume you anymore. Let it be. Be like, I did it. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not acting like that anymore. I'm not doing those things anymore. I don't have a desire to do those things anymore. Therefore, I get to move on. I get to move forward with my life. I get to evolve. I get to let my past be in the past and not let it define me. I get to free myself of the narrative that I'm a shitty, terrible person or whatever, or I'm a flawed human being. And you take your power back. Rewrite the narrative. Use the pain to be your power. Don't let people use your pain against you. Send it back. Be like, I'm not ashamed. That's your shame. I'm your mirror. You hate looking at me because you see yourself in this mirror that you're projecting all your shame onto. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the energy that's going to transform this situation. I love you guys. If you need help with this, I'm available for 60-minute clarity sessions. The link is below. Strict Podcast is back. I've got a new setup. I'm actually got like a new mic and stuff so I can sit on the couch and record. So I'm going to be back with that. And there'll also be some video clips. And that's on Spotify and Apple. There's 2 episodes. Those are coming out Sunday nights. And other kinds of videos are coming too now that I'm getting a new setup so I can be comfortable. So new videos on the channel as well, not just readings. And that's it, you guys. I love you. You've got this. You do have this. Trust. All right? I'll support you through it if you need it. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one.